We're back.
We accept the challenge of providing dangerous, thought-provoking, and sometimes controversial insights into life's most common topics.
I don't know why I packed the hollow points.
Did you just say hollow points?
Yeah. Probably should have brought a super soaker.
So, folks, today I was inspired to think about this topic that we should give our points on based on the radio. So I'm sitting in the car, riding along, and Alicia Keys' song come on. And I'm singing it a little bit, but then I remember in the recesses of my mind, I'm not supposed to be fucking with Alicia Keys for some reason, but I can't remember why. I couldn't remember why. Why? What is it about Alicia Keys that turned me off? Then it hit me. That's right. She broke up Swiss Nam marriage. He was married to some chick named Mashonda or something like that. And him and Alicia Keys start fucking around while he was married. And they had, him and old girl had a kid. And basically she was better than, based on the results, better than his wife and beat his wife out for his love. And I think it's been long enough to where people don't care no more. And they feel like because of the time that they've been together as a couple, that she was right to go after what she wanted, because women need to be empowered to go after what they want and be assertive, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. So my question to the panel is, does it matter when you feel like you found your soulmate, what is in the way of you attaining that soulmate?
Ooh, who's that going to first?
It can go to you first, because I think she's going to have an interesting response.
Can I ask a quick question?
You got it.
What song was it?
Oh, damn. I think it was the one with the piano.
All of them. She Keys, man.
If I don't have you.
Alicia
If I don't have you. It was If I Don't Have You. And because when the song was playing, I was thinking, I wonder if she's singing this to him while he's with his wife on vacation. Was this a song that kind of like he turned on the radio? Because I don't know how radios was working back then, but him and her driving to the airport and she turned on the radio and then he looked at her like dude that's got the step white black kid. You know what I'm saying? that think he's step black. He looked at her like, what is going on? This is a setup. So yeah, that's what happened.
Well, that takes a hell of a lot of planning to be in the studio and have it released by the time that they are on vacation. But I'll let you have that.
Some women are diabolical.
Okay. So was Biz Marquis. But right. I would say, why was he emotionally available for her if he was in a marriage?
Yeah.
And it may not have been all him. I think maybe it was God's plan, as Drake would say, because they were together and something was happening in this relationship. And at the same time, what he wasn't getting at home somehow fell into his lap and landed on the radio.
Wow.
So
powerful.
It is more than one force that had to take place. You know, I like the yin yang.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we can throw this all on Alicia at all.
What say you, married person?
No, you can't throw it out on Alicia, and I'll be transparent. I was in her shoes before, but not with a married person. Not with a married person. I would never do that. It's just, no. Okay. Yeah, hold it. Bring that air back in your lungs.
Oh, no. Hold on.
No.
What about my lungs? I too have lungs.
Oh, no. I didn't hear you. I heard him. I heard him go, oh. No.
I did.
So I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't even get that out. So if God told you,
yes, soulmate,
to go towards this dude, this is your soulmate, and he's married, you going to ignore God?
Soulmate.
I don't think God would put you in the direction of a married person. First of all,
mysterious ways.
I don't think
mysterious ways.
So I wouldn't
God
say
probably wouldn't even tell you to kill your kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw God in it. That makes it too complicated. But like I said, not with a married person. I was talking to someone that was dating someone else. And what I was going to say was, I agree with you when you said, why was he emotionally available? And it it's two sides. You know what I'm saying? It takes two. So he had to be entertaining that person if that person came along, because he wasn't entertained at home.
Have you ever? So my question to you then, in not obviously marriage or anything like that, but have you ever had a guy that you were intrigued by that wore you down? And then once you got a chance to break down some of those barriers, you realize I really dig this dude. Like maybe in the beginning, because of a whole bunch of different things, work and kids and schedules and all this, maybe he wasn't that dude, but because of his persistence, because of his charm, he was able to kind of break that shell. And you started loving the attention, because women love attention, right? So you started feeling that attention, and he was able to get in due to his persistence. Is he the bad guy for sticking with you and thinking that you're worth pursuing regardless of what's going on? Or what do you believe in that regard?
I've never been in that situation, but I do know someone that was totally not just really interested in that person. And he persisted, and, you know, they've been married like 10 plus years now. But when they talk about how they met, and I listened to him, he said he knew from the time that he saw her that was going to be my wife. And he was not going to let her get away from him. And he had to change some things because his first approach wasn't good enough. It didn't catch her eye, so he had to change some things. And then listening to her tell her story, it was like he was just another random guy, you know, coming up to the place of business, and like, no, I wasn't looking at him like that. But then he caught her eye when he stepped up his game a little bit. He came in not wearing work clothes, something different, you know, and she saw him different. And then they had a conversation. Yeah, they had a conversation, and they've been together ever since. And it's like they both say, he is my soulmate, she is my soulmate. So I think when you know that's the one, yeah, you should be persistent. I mean, why not?
Despite whatever is going on, right? He should have pursued her no matter what was really going on in her life, because something told him that was his soulmate.
So you said it takes two. I'm starting to think it takes three.
I just, when it comes to the married part, I don't know. But I've known couples that have done that. I mean, I know people that done that, but I also know people that done that and it backfired. So, you know, you hear people when they say, well, you lose them how you get them. And I've seen those situations too. Like, dang, he was married when you met him, then he married you. Now he didn't cheated with somebody else. So
right.
I don't like.
But even though that's his get down, does that mean that she wasn't his soulmate? Because no rule says you can't cheat on your soulmate. Why would we believe that because somebody's your soulmate, they get privileges? If
it's your soulmate, it's to the end, right?
No, it's to mate with your soul. It's to mate with your soul. At that time.
Right.
Just at that time?
At that time, yes, at that time. Because if it's your soulmate, and
so
they
you can have more than one soulmate in your lifetime. That's what you're telling me.
That's what I wanted to get to. That's what I wanted to get to.
I feel like we're talking about God, right?
You only got one soul, so you only have one soul. Why would you have more than one soulmate?
We're talking about God, though. You can mate this. You can mate that soul for 10 years. They die, and like, let me send them another mate.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but what you're saying is they die. So I get that. But if what I thought you were saying is, I got this soulmate for 10 years, and we ain't mentioned no more. Now here comes another soulmate.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying
that. He don't have an evolving soul. He has an evolving soul where his soul tends to change over time. You know, my soul used to like spicy, but it don't like spicy no more. I think my soul needs to move on to something better or something different.
That's not. Yeah, you got to call this something else, because I think if it's your soulmate, it's forever until one of you, you know, go on to be with the Lord, then hopefully you'll find another soulmate. But I don't think
you can't, because the soul doesn't die.
Yours don't. You're still living, so what, you supposed to be lonely?
Nobody's does. No soul dies.
No.
That's why it mates at several different times, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Well, we need to call it something different, because that...
Oh, damn. Damn,
you know how you have a magnet, a north and south magnet, so they attract?
Yeah.
Yes.
if you take them apart, that south is going to attract to another north. It's
Yes.
not just that north magnet. And like you were saying, it has to be three. I didn't even know fully what that Bible verse meant when it said like they ate the fruit and now their eyes were opened. Because I
Mm-hmm.
was with
Mm-hmm.
somebody for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just watch TV, watch videos, see girls. It didn't even matter to me. But after I was no longer connected, I was
Mm-hmm.
emotionally available. The same stuff I was watching, I was like, dang, Beyonce look good on this video. Let me rewind it. Like the eyes are open. You're ready.
Damn it, thine eyes.
Right. It's ready for my
so.
soul to move
Let me
on.
tell you about this. Right, but let me tell you the danger in this regard. The danger is emotionally and psychologically, the human spirit is very, very fickle. And so when you talk to old people, we've had this conversation in our platform before about marriage and how I don't believe in the institution of marriage unless you over 30 and all these other qualifiers, right? I'm not a big proponent of people should go get married because it just doesn't mean as much as it used to. Now I'm sounding like the old man, right? But the moral of the story is there's something about the term infatuation. And that infatuation term, we all was young, we all fell for someone and was infatuated by this bad boy, this bad girl, this older person, whatever the case may be. And that feeling is extremely intoxicating. There's something that says you should date your spouse, right? So even though you married, y'all should date as if y'all not married because there's something attractive about the chase. There's something exciting about that teenage infatuation, staying up on the phone all night and falling asleep and no, you hang up, no, you hang up. That type of shit is cool. But as you get older and as you get married, y'all don't do that no more. Y'all stop giving each other gifts and all that. You buying her a jumbo CD for Christmas and it's trash, right? It really starts to get too responsible and loses that magic. And so what happens is while you're in that and you're being responsible, you're doing what society tells you should be doing based off of these conventions, you run into somebody at Starbucks getting a Frappuccino and she catch your eye because you so used to the normal whatever. And this lady, no fault to her, this lady you with or this dude you with, they just doing what y'all always did because y'all always did it. They not coming in and changing up too much. And something attracts your attention that day. And then all of a sudden, like the magnet that you spoke of, you find yourself infatuated with whatever you just saw. Now I'm built this story on out and we're going to put a hole in it so y'all can give me feedback. Now you go to Starbucks again 4 weeks later, and that chick happened to be in there, and she done got some highlights in her hair. And you like, what is the universe telling me? And she speaks to you and comments your shoes and all this kind of stuff. And that is flattering. That is exciting. But just because I'm married to this person doesn't make them my soulmate. But even if they were when I married them 15, 18, 22 years ago, does my soul still resonate at that same frequency? Go.
Absolutely not. I don't think it does. I think souls grow, and you have people in your life who
And
are there
change.
forever. Then you have people who are there for a time to what your soul needs at that time, and it grows. I think that's God's intervention to tell her to get them highlights because you like highlights. It's like Alicia Keys said, old boy walked in, or no, he saw her outside of her work clothes. Oh, you look different outside your work clothes or whatever.
Yeah, at the bar. Yeah, at the little diner. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That was most deaf.
Something happens to make them look different to you because that attraction needs to happen. And I think that's God too. It's like in the Bible, I don't think the Pharaoh would have done what he did unless God intervened and hardened his heart, right?
It's hard to go ahead.
I would
You
say
got it.
it's okay to be flattered. And I think it's okay. You can be married. You can
A
be
woman can
married.
say that. Wow.
You can be married and be flattered because somebody said, "Hey, you look nice today," or "I noticed that you done something with your hair," and your spouse ain't told you. It's okay to be flattered. It's how you act upon it. You know what I mean? If you shouldn't be like, "Oh, well, damn, she must be the one," because she noticed that, I got a couple of great strings in my beard, and my wife didn't
I
even
agree
know.
with that.
Like,
I agree with that.
you don't take it too far. You can be, because I think the older you get and when you're married to someone, y'all
Mhm.
see each other every day, that you don't catch
Mhm.
the small things. But because
Mhm.
other people catch the small things doesn't mean that your marriage is broken. It's just that, y'all done got so comfortable with each other. You may need to say, hey, did you notice this? If that person start asking you, have you noticed this? Then you, as the spouse, need to say, hey, I need to check myself because I'm missing calling stuff out. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody else calling it out. But it's up
Okay,
to
Here's the
so
you
but
to
does it
not act
matter?
on it.
Does it matter if they didn't say something, didn't notice something, and
Well, it
somebody else
depends on
did?
the spouse, because to some spouses it do, and to some it don't. I
I
could
mean,
be the
should
one
it
that you
matter
ain't got to
though?
tell me I'm cute. I know I'm cute. You ain't got to tell me I'm cute every day. But it may be some women out there that need that from their man to say, hey, shit, you looking good today. Even though you told her the same thing yesterday. But some crave that. And if they don't get it in their relationship or marriage and somebody on the outside gives it to them, if they're weak enough, they going to fall.
Okay,
it,
so does it matter who said it first?
What do you mean? Like the person on the outside or the person you with?
Maybe he goes to work earlier than you do, and you got
But if
ready,
he says
and
it, if he says it to her enough, it don't matter if she gets it at work, if somebody tell her that at work, because she heard it from him. But if he's not saying it at all, and you got this one guy at work that's constantly saying it, she may get weak. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that that guy is better than the guy at home. It's just that attention she's not getting at home, she's gravitating towards it at work. So now, she's dressing a little bit different. And she trying to call out them. She need that. Like, dang, I hope he see me today. And the person at home ain't seen us, got new heels and all this, and ain't noticed nothing. I think it starts there.
it does.
It
It does.
starts
But
there, and it's the attention. I don't know. People crave it, and
but
some people don't.
no,
I
no, I
don't.
think everybody craves it. Women love attention and dudes love attention, but women
I
openly are
don't.
expressive about a love it. Let me explain like this, okay? If you have, so I'm married to some woman and she is really into shoes. And that's cute at first, but that should get old because who gives a
Hmm.
damn? Like a shoe is a shoe is a shoe. Functionally, a shoe is doing the same thing. You going for all these different styles, spending this money, that's on you. But because I don't care about it, even if I comment on it when she get new shoes, she's thinking I'm commenting because she done spend some money. Because she knows in my whole get down that I don't give a damn about these shoes, right? Like, because either I'm complimenting the shoes or the way she looks in the shoes. But the moral of the story is she knows that I appreciate how she looks because I keep signing up for this day in and day out. I don't care about the shoes. Because if I get too high on the red bottoms, then when she put on the boots or put on the house shoes, then all of a sudden it's not the shoes, it's you, it's not the shoes as far as I'm concerned. So women who do this stuff for the fashion, it's bigger than what they're doing. It's bigger than what they present to their husbands in the idea of who they are in flats, heels, whatever the case may be. But there's one brother at the job, security guard, don't matter what his title is or what he got going on. He
Hmm.
compliments every time you wear some different kind of shoes or some nice shoes or your nails is a certain way or whatever. And when he does that, subconsciously, you're now auditioning or performing for him. You're making sure that you go on the extra walk the long way when you got on the nice
Hmm.
shoes so he could be like, I see you, Sandra. I see you, Sandra always
Right,
come with the high
right.
shoes. Now she's performing for this nigga at the job, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
Sandra
care.
got a
I
shoe
don't
cleaning
care.
kit in the car before she walk in.
Exactly. Exactly.
So back to what I'm
Exactly.
saying is he's gonna be persistent in
Mm-hmm.
hopes that one day she's gonna get tired of what she got at home and come on,
Correct.
because I've been watching her forever.
Yep.
And then that's when I said I don't put it on the persistent person, because why does she need that attention? What's going on to make her available for him to be doing this fashion show?
The issue though is you said this in previous pods. Women go through changes. They go through
Hmm.
changes where they become more irritable, they become more emotional, they become more hormonal. And if me and you ain't
Hmm.
vibing at the same frequency anymore because you changed, because of natural things, I'm not blaming you. I'm not like y'all, I'm not a victim shamer. But because you naturally are going through changes, and I didn't recalibrate my frequency at the same frequency as your frequency, somebody else on your new frequency is going to pick up on that, and they're going to be coming towards you. The problem is this: we are insatiable as people to where, and I've said this before, my favorite song of all time has been my favorite song of all time for 20 some years because the song is still written well, it's still performed well, and I'm not going to blame the song. But a lot of people can't listen to the same music because that's old music. It's still good music, and the 80-20 rule applies. I understand that my wife is only going to be 80% of what I absolutely think is perfect. And then there's 20% that I wish would be different. But soon as she pick up 5%, it's going to drop off 5% somewhere else. You with me?
Mm.
So the idea of we always looking for the thing we forget about all the stuff we have, and we get so focused on what we don't have. We could live in the nicest neighborhood, drive a really nice car, something this, something that. Then we see somebody younger that's got a nicer car or they live in a bigger house, and we like, where did I go wrong? And that be the problem in relationships a lot, where your guy used to have long hair, his hair fall out, now he bald. Then you meet a nigga with dreads and you like, ooh, I really do like hair, but you got a wig on. You got a straight wig on.
Let me go back to this. So do you think Swiss, that's what happened with him? So like you said, we get older, we change, we do little things different. His current wife that he was with got older, changed, and then he saw that younger over there and said, because it could have,
like you said, though, we can't put it all on Alicia. We can't put it all on Swiss's wife. Swiss changed too.
No, I'm putting it on him. I'm putting it on him because what I'm saying is, what if his wife, like I said before in previous pods, she ain't dropping it down no more like she used to. Them knees don't work like they used to. She done got older. They done been together for so long. And instead of him being with her through those changes and finding a new spark, he just said, forget trying to fan this dying flame. Let me go over here to what's hot.
I don't think that's naturally in a man's who loves somebody's DNA. It's the effort grade. If you ain't dropping it like it's hot, hopefully you dropping this hot water cornbread because it is hot.
Damn. I was not ready for that. I do believe in calibrating the effort frequency. I think we both have to. You sweeping, I'm mopping, right? You dusting, I'm vacuuming. Like, we have to be making sure that we're both applying something beneficial to the relationship. But I also have to be under the understanding that once I'm no longer beneficial, you need to let me know preemptively. It can't be a situation like your man Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson. You know what I'm saying? He was married to the widow, and then he started messing around with Blake Lively.
You said that like that was something.
What I'm saying?
Did the inflection in your voice? Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
What I'm saying is these women have been touted as classically attractive white women. So you switched up an attractive white woman for another attractive white woman. What was the point of that? What was she? Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston. Him and her was rocking. They was married. Then he started messing around with Angelina Jolie, which I think is a downgrade. But the moral of the story is, how do you be with somebody for real, and then you end up getting somebody kind of similar to that person, or like you get somebody adjacent to them? That doesn't make sense to me. So in the idea of the one thing about Swiss Beats' first wife, she ain't nothing like Alicia Keys in my eyes.
Exactly.
So he did a whole remodel. But in
for
this concept,
version.
Right? The trading in for a younger version, I understand that concept. But then Usher started messing around with that old woman when he fucked up with Chili. So
that's a whole nother conversation. Because that's a whole nother conversation right there.
All right.
He was still letting it burn. Yeah.
Right. This situation, I just think he upgraded for a younger model, but I'm looking at their dynamic now, and it's like they have this blended family down pat. And I think more of the effort is coming from Alicia because she wants that co-parenting thing. I think the other lady goes on trips with them and all of that. And
That's
so
trash.
I'm wondering, I'm wondering is that part of that is like a guilt thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm wondering if it's because she knew he told her, and I'm just thinking he probably told her what the
Mm-hmm.
problem was in their relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
most of it was probably her not pleasing him in any kind of way. But it could have been anything, but it was on that wife. And she probably felt bad because that wife was no competition when it came to her. So I'm going to reach out and give her this olive branch to let her know it's cool. I have no issues with you. Please don't have none with me. So I think it was more on him. I think it really was more on him. I don't think she came in and stole anything because you can't steal something if you don't leave. You got to leave it out there to be stolen.
Listen, man,
You
that's why
can't
they call
steal
them cat
nothing.
burglars. That's why they call them
Right. I
cat
stayed
burglars. You
in
can lock that
apartments.
shit down.
No, we stayed in the hood. I stayed in apartments, and my mom was like,
Mhm.
leave that bike outside if you want to. It's going to be gone.
Right. But once
But you
again,
can't steal
cat
something that's
burglars.
yours.
So
No,
she
it's
had the cat,
hers.
right?
It's her
Because it
soulmate.
was her soulmate. Ooh, that's deep. What say you? He said something right there. You know he did.
Old girl was just borrowing them. Her time was up and she didn't know. She told her, I
Damn.
let you ride my bike. Now give it back.
Oh, my God.
Let me ask you this. If your husband, I'm trying to be nice for the sake of the audience and for the sake of your home, and we want you to come back and we don't want him to have no problems with us. But if he wasn't your soulmate, let me use me. I ain't even gonna do you like that. My
No, you
wife has
can't.
told me
Y'all
she don't
can
believe.
use me. Okay, go
No,
ahead.
because you know what I mean?
Look, just
This is
spit
good.
it out.
This is good. This is good. She has told me she don't believe in soulmates, which led me to believe she doesn't believe I'm her soulmate. So I'm not gonna let you be my soulmate if I'm not your soul. I'm not giving up this chip. You only get one chip. You only get one chip. According to us, you only get. So two of us on the panel believe that you have one soulmate, and that soulmate is your soulmate because the soul is everlasting, and you got to be judicial about your selection of your soulmate. But you can still be successfully married to somebody and not have to design them or designate them as your soulmate. The thing is this: how do you then explain to your spouse that you met your soulmate?
I think your spouse will understand because she believed what I believe.
What?
She said, I do.
Okay.
So you're her soulmate for now. Okay? She don't believe in the everlasting.
I
Like I was
believe.
saying earlier.
I believe if my husband came to me and said, I
Mhm.
met my soulmate,
Yes.
our relationship had to been over way before he gathered up the nerves and balls to come to me and say it. It was already damaged. It was, and I have to accept it. You just can't
If
come out the blue and everything going fine and you say that, nah, this ship been sinking.
But if he's
I
truly
don't
your
agree with
soulmate,
that.
aren't you
Yes.
happy for him?
It's gonna
No.
hurt.
No,
Yeah,
you can't be happy. If no.
it's
Unrequited
gonna
love
be
is not a good
sad, it's
thing.
gonna hurt and all of that,
Listen to
but
what he's saying. He's saying
Love is
that you believe
unselfish.
him to be your soulmate. You believe your husband is your soulmate. He just came and told you he got a replacement soulmate. And so now your soul is void. Like your reception ain't getting picked up on the other end. What are you gonna do?
But that's what I'm
You can't be
saying.
happy
The
about that.
ship had to been sinking before. Like we had to be having some downs,
I
a
think that's the
lot
woman
more
in you.
downs than ups for
I
you to
think
come
that's
to
the
me
woman
and
in you.
say that.
Let me tell you something about black folks. I'm about to give y'all a lesson on black folks. I tell you, hey, me and the missus, we decided to part ways. You like, oh my God, what happened? And I say, damn, name's Tracy Edmonds, because she's single now. Met Tracy Edmonds at Whole Foods, and she was giving me the funky rhythm, and it was just something. And we sat down and we was talking over the zucchinis, and it was just amazing. And so she gave me her number, and I called her, on some professional stuff at first, and then I just couldn't get her off my mind. Then she flew me out to, and so I'm telling you, somebody that's like a millionaire, right, multimillionaire, attractive, successful, smart, all this other stuff. Now you like, okay, dang. Well, I hate that for y'all, you and your wife, but at least you got a good one in Tracy Edmonds. Do you have a problem with Tracy Edmonds? Because I had the ring on when me and her was talking over the zucchinis.
First, if you came to me and said that, if I know if we talk like we do, and let's just say I know that y'all been into it every other month. It's something going on. It's like, man, I can't do this no more. Blah blah blah. You came and told me that. I would be like, well, you know what? Good for you. I'm happy for you. But if y'all been good, you've been good in your marriage. I ain't heard you say 2 words of nothing been going on wrong, and you come out and be like, what the hell wrong with you? Like, what's
People
really
be
going
acting
on?
like that though. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Kelsey Grammer did that with his wife. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden he started dating or start messing around with a stewardess. I'm sorry, a flight attendant. Start messing with a flight attendant. This concept
who knows everything was fine.
She said it and he said it. Maybe they was being nice to each other.
They was lying.
Dang. So what you want to believe is this soulmate thing is not so powerful enough that it can't disrupt a good marriage.
No, it can't. No, not to me. No.
I did not expect that. Wow. You have drank some good Kool-Aid.
It can't. Not a good one. Now remember, you said a good one. We ain't got no financial problems. We ain't got no relation problems. Ain't nothing going on. And you mean to tell me that you think that somebody can come and make you say, "Ooh, I don't want to be here no more. This ain't right." I can't.
So you don't believe in soulmates then, obviously.
So I've had people say after I showed them and told them stuff,
like, damn it,
right? After I showed and told people stuff, they did not know that they needed that. So maybe Kelsey didn't know that everything was fine, and then she introduced stuff to him. He didn't know he needed that. It can't
be fine. In my mind, everything can't be fine if you don't do drugs and you swear by you would never ever do drugs, I could never come to you with a drug and say, you got to try this. You gonna like it. It's gonna change your life. You gonna be like, hell no, it's not. Because I refuse to do it. You gotta it has to be something in your mind. You gotta, like you said, and be infatuated with the thought of doing it or something for somebody to come along and say, yeah, you need to do this right here with me. Not with who you with, but with me.
Wow. Yeah, the issue though is some things you can't do with who you with because they ain't got the constitution for it. It could be things that you would love to do. It could be bungee jumping. It could be private jets. It could be all this stuff. And you like, man, since I was a little girl, I wanted to do this, but this dude don't like horses, so I can't go horseback riding on the beach.
But you knew that when you married that person.
You did.
When you thought that was your soulmate, you knew that. You made the decision to say, well, I know I never go horseback riding because this is my soulmate. I'm going to be with this person. But if you left some stuff open, if it's open, somebody going to come in there and they going to feel it.
I agree with her.
So you believe that the only people that get married are soulmates?
No. I didn't mean to say it that way. I'm just saying if you're in a relationship, and you leave some things open, somebody gonna come. Like, it's some things that I want to do that my spouse may not want to do. But because I love where I'm at and I love who I'm with, I'm okay if I don't do that no more. It's fine because what we got is more than eating peanut butter jelly with bacon. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing something out there. Like, I ain't had it no more.
Yeah. So the thing about it is, and I often say you have to be committed to the commitment, not committed to the person, because the person will evolve and change. But this concept of you got two camps here, and I think we represent these camps on two sides. And so you're the divide right now. We have people who don't believe in soulmates, and we have people who believe in soulmates. And if I believe in soulmates, I truly am a believer. That means that when mine arrives, I'm compelled to see it through. But you feel like because you made a choice when you was young to marry this cat, that when your soulmate is presented to you, you got to say, why didn't you come earlier?
No, I don't. I don't think there's a time frame of when you're going to meet your soulmate.
Okay.
I think you just know when you know, I guess.
Yep.
Or let me put it, okay. I just thought about something before I met my husband. Way before I met my husband, I think I only had my first daughter then. It was this
Okay.
guy that I was introduced to, and at that time I was immature, silly, or whatever, and I passed on him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, that ain't what I want, or whatever. So a couple of years after that, he had got married,
Mm-hmm.
moved into what I would have loved of a home and the area and all that stuff. Then had a kid. And at that time, I thought to myself, damn, that could have been the one for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed it up. I ain't go back and get him, though, because, like, let me go back and get my soulmate. Like, no, my thing is, I said, you know what? I'll do right or whatever. And God what's for me is for me. And even if he could have been my soulmate, but I wasn't listening. I didn't see it. I didn't believe it. I didn't hear it. But thankfully, God put somebody else in my path, and I end up being where I am now. But when I look back on it, and he, was a good guy, would have been everything that I would have wanted, everything that I got today. He
Mm-hmm.
was back then, but I
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't ready for it.
So you think he was your soulmate then, but because of your choices, God unsoulmated y'all.
Thinking back, like if had I took the opportunity and married him, I probably
Mm-hmm.
would have still been married or whatever, because I think God put
Something,
him in my path at that time because that's what I needed. But I didn't want it. I was young and immature and stupid then. He's
but that
still the
could have been
same.
just an example of what
It,
something like you wanted. But
it
if
Yes,
could
it's
I
for
agree
be.
with
you,
that.
you told me it's for you. So if he was for you, then he would have been. Yeah, something would have happened where you went into the coffee shop or the zucchini part of Whole Foods, and y'all would have met. That wasn't your soulmate.
You're right. The zucchini part, Whole Foods. So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I had a girlfriend, and we was together for a long time. We was in college, and she fancied me to be her soulmate. At the time, I did not believe, and still I do not believe her to be. My mom feels like she's the love of my life. That's what she said. But she different terms, same dynamic. But the idea was when we broke up, what I expressed to her was, if it's meant for us, truly meant for us to be together, there is nothing that can keep that from happening. If you're a believer and you
Nothing.
believe this is the designation and I am your soulmate, nothing can keep us from being together if that's something that you feel is in your cards or in your plan or the path or whatever you have before you. And I meant that when I said that. And she remembered that years later and brought it up to me, in conversation. The moral of the story is sometimes you end up in a situation where you're doing the smart thing, the responsible thing, the quote unquote right thing. And the soulmate situation, the only reason she wasn't my soulmate to me was because of that spark. They call it a spark, right? It's a situation where it's something that's overwhelming. It's the pheromones, it's the smile, it's the stuff that they say that it's like deja vu. You know how when you have deja vu, you feel weird and
Hmm.
funny, but it's some people are scared of it, but it's exciting. And so when you find that soulmate, it just keeps reminding you something is going on here. You could fight it all you want to. You could act like it ain't what it is, but something is going on between you and this person. Y'all giving off funky rhythm. Y'all, the electricity is palpable. People can feel it. People can see it. It's something about two people who are genuine soulmates. That are so connected where when they're around, everything just seems better. And that is intoxicating. That is very attractive. So as much as you think, well, I'm straight, if ever given the opportunity to be in that guy's presence and he's in your presence, it'll be overwhelming. It's not something it's like being an addict. It's not something you can control. You used the drugs earlier. Love is the greatest drug that ever existed. That soulmate thing, I think, goes
It
beyond
is.
just the love. It's beyond just the security of two people combining their lives. It's bigger than that. It's powerful. And unfortunately, I think that's what people don't understand when they say, I was drawn to this person despite to give a damn my family. People that gave up inheritances and ran off and tried to kill their kids over like that crazy love that they talk about. That's when people really buy into this soulmate thing. And so you got two ways of thinking about it. what's good is not always good for you, right? What feels good is
Right.
not always good for you. Are you married to this person because it feels good? Or are you married to this person primarily because it's good for you?
They're gonna help you develop and grow. So
Yes.
like what you just said though, if we step back and watch Kelsey's life and how did he get on the plane? Maybe it was a 5-hour flight with this
Right.
woman, and it probably was
Right.
nobody else. She was able to give him all this attention, but enough
Right.
attention where he was able to connect and not let go. I'm sure
Right.
he took thousands of other flights. He don't fall in
Thousands.
love with every flight attendant, but
Right.
this was made to connect. And like you said, what was good for him, what he
Right.
thought what was good and comfortable at home was
Right.
probably not going to take him to that next level that he needed to be at.
So I'm finna really, really blow y'all mind on this one because I just thought about something.
Okay.
So
Guys
what
ready?
if,
Knuckles on my chin.
right, what if there is more than one soulmate for you? Now just hold on, just think about this. Because these soulmates that God created for you, your perfect matches up with you very well is because you have more than one, because things can happen in your life at different stages in your life. Like, for instance, my dad, he swear my mom was his soulmate, but she's been gone for 14 years. It may be another soulmate out there for him in his age range or whatever that's waiting on him now to pick up this part of his life. So like me and my husband, we're 6 years apart. I can't say he was born for me. Because what if
it can work like that.
What if I missed it? You know what I'm saying? What if I missed him when we were supposed to meet that time? I missed him, but God said, that's all right, I got another one lined up for you.
Wouldn't have. No, wouldn't have.
No, you wouldn't have.
So
You'd
you
be
don't
stuck
think
on a
that?
5-hour flight with him. Yeah.
But
Yep.
what if he got?
Yep.
But what if he died freakishly
It's gonna
before I got
He
a
would
chance
not
to meet
have
him?
died. He was created
He
for
wouldn't
you.
have done, absolutely. It wasn't part of the plan. Absolutely. The plan, the one thing about believers is they do believe in the plan wholeheartedly, whether they can understand it, comprehend it, or be excited about it. The plan is the plan. I think the situation with the soulmate thing is that's so intriguing, and why it became just a good conversation for us for the last 40-something minutes is because this concept of, and I'm going to ask y'all this, because it's happened to me on 2 different occasions. I'm not going to say it was love at first sight, because that's just the flesh. That's just the optical, right? That's just, you see something and for whatever reason, it turns off all the inside out, right? Right. All of the people in my brain was hitting buttons. I mean, we hitting hydraulics like we going crazy. I've seen 2 women in my lifetime where I said, oh my God. I mean, almost paralytic, like it. And I consider myself to be pretty wordsy, but I was at a loss for words. It was amazing, the feeling of seeing this person. And it was a situation where we locked eyes. She gave me a smile. I hit her with the dimples. And it was just like, oh my, it was palpable. But I always have this rule that if it's meant to be, I'll see you again. And so the first time it happened in my life ever, I was like, if it's meant to be, I'll see her again. And then I'll be ready because I won't be caught off guard because I was so knocked back by the feeling, the energy. And I didn't see her again. The second time that shit happened, I was buying cookies at Kroger's. Oh, I went home and got dressed and came back to Kroger's.
All right.
Okay.
You know, so has it ever been a time in y'all lives where y'all ran into somebody and something about them, and I understand people could be cute, but it was just something about their whole get down that just captivated you? Have y'all ever had that feeling, or am I the only one? Am I just a hopeless romantic?
Only in school for me.
Really?
Like school dances, basketball games, and I might see a guy and be like, oh my God, he is so cute, but yeah.
But nothing to where you just feel drawn to that person?
Yeah, that's happened to me. It's happened.
Yeah.
And there was a reason, and I'm a person that I'll stay up all night, all week, or all month thinking of why did I meet this person? And it's usually something that they had that I needed. And I got it from them. But I'll tell you a quick story. Chris make fun of me about this Camaro stuff, right? He was like, it's maybe you don't need a Camaro, because I had 2 wrecks within 2 months or something like that in Camaros, 2 different Camaros.
Right.
Right. One caught on fire. One was a cement truck that he's talking about.
Right.
Mm.
But if you take a step back and look, when I was in the Camaro, where was I going to and coming from both times? It was
To see a
one person's
girl.
house. Yes.
Oh wow, that was the other
So
stuff that
do
was
I
that was
not
trying to give you
need
little
the
hints.
Camaro or do I not need this girl?
I think that's convenient.
Wow.
Only reason this story works is because that was your third Camaro and the first one just died of natural causes. So I'll give you that
But I
only
had the
because you have
first one
3 sample
17
sizes.
years, man. You
I
can't count
know, I
that one.
know, I know. But I'm just saying, I can't blame all Camaros because one did love you.
It's,
One did love you.
okay,
These
so
last
but it's
two
not the
hoes.
Camaro. It's not the Camaro. It was where I was going. So who drives somewhere, have a Camaro that explodes and unscratched,
right.
and leaves somewhere,
Golly.
it gets hit by a truck that dumps
Mm,
cement permanently places, still unhurt.
mm.
It wasn't the Camaro. It was the
I'm gonna
places
say
you were going.
I'm gonna say this as my closing point of this, and I would love to hear both of y'all responses. There have been times when I've been in a relationship. Maybe it's happened twice in my life. Out of the 6 girls, that was my girlfriends, and it was so fucking easy. It was so wonderful in the beginning that it was scary. It was like I was doing stuff I just that was out of character. You know what I'm saying? Like I was tapping into something in my whole spirit that made me faster, stronger, smarter, better. Like everything was coming together. And like you said, I was young and dumb. So I didn't calibrate this for us to be on the same frequency or equally yoked or whatever you want to call it. And she was my soulmate that could have resonated success with me for good. Because what happened early on in the relationship is we got off frequency and I felt like I was still vibrating at a high level and she just got comfortable. Because women tend to operate at a great frequency in the beginning. And then once they realize, oh, you good, they just start shutting shit down, right? They start getting real comfortable. And we can do that for another pod. But the moral of the story is, has it been situations where y'all ended up in a, like Deborah Cox, how did you get here? Nobody supposed to be here. Has it been a situation where you've been overwhelmed or swept off your feet in love and with somebody, but you refuse to give them the designation of soulmate?
Yeah, I'll go, then I'll let you close,
Okay.
Shonda. So my final thoughts is I've been in that spot, and at that time in my life, I needed peace, and that person was that peace that I needed. But when I step back and look at my life overall, I need some disruption. I need to be challenged. I need someone to help me improve and go further. The peace people, usually the people who just want to stay there and relax. That's not what I needed, but I needed it at that time. But after we unsoul matched, it was time for me to move on. Go ahead.
You
Go ahead,
can't
Shonda.
deactivate the Wonder Twin powers. Go ahead, Shonda.
I can't. God can.
So it's so crazy.
DJ Khaled. God did.
So no, I've never been in that situation because
You're a gangster. I understand how you grew up.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that and being with my
Drive-bys.
children, but being with my children dad for like most of the end of my high school years, 6 years after that. So and then meeting my husband. So and that's I see him as my soulmate. And I'm gonna ask him when I get off the phone. Am I is, but
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
no, I'm hard. No, I'm hard.
This is for entertainment purposes only.
But do you feel you needed that person, children's dad, bum, or whatever you want to call them, to appreciate your soulmate that you have now? I call it your soulmate because the other dude would have been if he was.
Do I need him to appreciate him?
Did you need him in your
Did you
life?
need that rain to appreciate the sunshine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. That sounds
what?
soulmate-ish to me.
Ooh. Yeah. And you know what? That's a good one. That's another one for a pod too, because I think my God knew who I am and knew how I was and said, you know what? You keep going back to the same mess and you keep bumping your
Hmm.
head and you gonna teach your own self a lesson before I
Insanity.
put you in the path of this man right here because he was already ready. Had he
Hmm.
met me in between that breaking up and going back and forth, oh, he would have shut me down. Yeah, he would have shut me down.
Oh,
Down. I
trust
wasn't ready.
trust me. He wasn't ready yet either. He had to go through his stuff. He had to learn how to hang up properly.
That's right.
You right.
This concludes another episode of the Hollow Points Podcast, where we act as your therapeutic outlet on topics many think about but are afraid to speak on.
Oh, you're welcome.